Wow, that took a lot of work. I hope everybody can find me from the other one because YouTube has changed the way all of the live stream goes, and it's really difficult to figure out how to live on YouTube anymore because they changed it to where I can't use just my regular webcam. I have to like set it up all fancy and whatnot. And wow, oh my gosh, okay, those numbers are jumping. Hey guys, how are you? Yes, so let me move everything over here. Gotta get my tea on this not so chilly day. Hello from Scotland. Hello. Woohoo. Okay. Hello. Yes, I'm wearing my hoodie. It's like 70 degrees out. It's like 75 degrees out. It's actually really warm. I have no idea why. Well, I'm just really excited that it's not in the 90s or 80s. So I'm like, I'm going to wear a sweater because Los Angeles doesn't have any other kind of seasons. So yeah, I know, but I have the air on. So from Colorado, hey Jackie. Yes. So, oh, hi to Italy. So in this live stream, we're going to be talking about just some full moon stuff because everybody's really excited for this upcoming harvest full moon on Friday. It's in 2 days. And yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. Hi, Brian. Good to see you again. Howdy from NoHo. Ooh, you close. Yeah, I actually don't always keep up with the moon phases or what moon is going on at the moment, to be completely honest, because I'm busy, and some days I'm like, oh, that's right, it's this Friday, or it's today, or it was yesterday, or whatever. But when I do have time and I do, I prepare, it's always good. It's always fun. So let's see. Yes, this video will be put onto the channel itself, so don't worry about, those are really loud crickets. So don't worry, whatever is said here will be put onto the channel. Now, so it's a harvest moon. That is because, if I am remembering correctly, it's because there's just a little bit of sunlight left for the farmers to harvest and gather all of their crops. I could be totally wrong. That's just what I've heard and read. But I'm also told that it is a full moon in Pisces. Those crickets, yeah, I should sacrifice them. I do, I give them to Geeko, so. But the full moon is in Pisces, and for all of you zodiac people, you take that with what it is. I'm not a zodiac person, so I don't really know. And it's also the last moon before the autumn equinox, so if that is anything for you. Now, the big thing too is that this moon lands on Friday the 13th. A lot of people are like really, really pumped about that. To me personally, it's just a Friday. But, if that has a significance to you, I think you should definitely be excited for it and you should use that. Yes. This moon is going to be really good for cleansing yourself, cleansing things, your tools, your crystals, whatever, your space. It's going to be good for releasing things, and it's really, really good for reflecting from the past equinox. So summer equinox, I would start from like kind of just in June from there and reflect back to where you are now, because that's not a long time, but it's just enough time to grow. And I know that a lot of people have been going through a lot of different things in the past few months. Everybody I've talked to has gone through something, good or bad, but it's a good time to sit and reflect for this full moon. Yes. Oh, it's gonna be rainy for your full moon. I'm jealous. I miss the rain. I don't remember the last time I've seen the rain. Yeah, so it's going to be really good for reflecting on things. And I think that's going to be my personal thing that I'm going to be doing, is kind of reflecting and having something like that. So for your rituals, I'm not going to give you a certain ritual to do step by step, because everybody's going to have different intentions, different means. Everybody's going to have something that is different. Like, some people can only work in the closet, so you can't really just set up all your crystals and all of your candles and do all that jazz. But I'll give you a few tips of things that you might be able to try out. And the first thing is, because I am going to be doing reflections, I would probably sit down and do divination. So if you have oracle cards, if you have tarot cards, if you do runes, or any kind of divination that you prefer, pendulums, bibliomancy, shufflemancy, whatever that may be, automatic writing, anything like that. I think automatic writing would probably be a really good way to do your reflections. So let's see. Yeah, so first things first, for all of you baby witches out there, center yourself. So before you do any kind of really big ritual, or even just like a little mini ritual, because I'm not somebody who usually has these like full out rituals with like all my candles and just all of this stuff. I usually pick one thing and put my energy into that one thing. So center yourself, just take some deep breaths and try not to let everything else that's going on get to you. Centering yourself is really just kind of like coming back into the moment, just like peace. It's listening to the sounds around you and just kind of noticing things around you. Looking, hey Thea, hey Erin, what's up? Looking around and seeing things just as they are, just noticing the colors, noticing the way the light hits them, just really becoming super present and just like centering yourself and not letting everything else, get to you, because I know that it's been an interesting summer for a lot of us. Yeah, really come into that. Then after you center yourself, you're going to finalize the intention of your ritual. So what are you doing your ritual for? What are you doing something like reflecting? Are you trying to reflect on the past few months? Are you trying to reflect on a certain feeling, a certain emotion, a certain event? Are you trying to cleanse something particular? Are you trying to find clarity on something in particular? So, just look at the things like that and finalize that intention. I find it very helpful to write my intention down. You know that I love writing things down. I feel like it helps a lot. So make sure that you sit down and you write it down if that makes you feel a little bit better about your intention. Let's see. So, to go more in depth, like what exactly are you reflecting on? So, once you have kind of like, oh, I'm reflecting, I want clarity, I'm trying to cleanse, I'm trying to manifest this thing, whatever that intention is, go deeper into it. And what are you trying to what are you trying to manifest? What are you reflecting on? What do you want clarity on? So once you have your intention set, you've already centered yourself and you have your intention, go into your ritual. So this can be anything that you feel best, because rituals, I think a lot of people have their mindset that things have to be super crazy, you know, like all these crazy candles and chants and music and all of this stuff. And in reality, you know, a ritual can really just take 30 minutes. It can just be a meditation. I mean, you have morning rituals, you know, and those aren't like a huge thing. You just wake up and you wash your face and you and you make your coffee and you sit down and you read. You know, that's a ritual. So don't feel like just because you don't have these like magnificent Hollywood looking witchy rituals that you didn't do something right, because, you know, all of that works. I'm looking at my notes, which is why I'm pausing a lot and looking down. But so one thing, especially if you are practicing in secret, ritual showers and ritual baths are super helpful. So because you're alone. I mean, I hope you're alone in those situations. But with baths, if you have access to a bathtub and you're able to use it, baths are super fun because you can turn off all the lights, you can set up candles, and you can play music on your phone, and you can scry in the bath water. And so, you know, throw in some Epsom salts or like a black bath bomb or any black or any bath bomb at all. And you can throw any kind of herbs or oils or whatever that you're using in that and set your intention with those things. Or if you don't have access to a bathtub, you can use shower magic too. I like to purchase soaps. So you can charge any kind of soap that you have and use that in your shower, and actually just, you can either use that consistently, or you can use it only on certain rituals or only when you're cleansing something or XYZ. So you can use soaps that you've made. I'm not that motivated to make soaps, but oh, thank you, Lauren. Thank you. But yeah, so you can, and this does not have to be like a super witchy soap that you bought on Etsy or that you like got at a, you know, super witchy shop. This can literally just be a soap that you got at the local store that has, because there's soaps out there that are made with, you know, herbs and whatnot. I'm taking a blank. I really need my tea. Whew. Oh, how did I forget? How did I forget to tell you? I'm drinking this Jamaican rum. It's one of my favorites. So good. So good. This is like one of my ritual teas. So good. It's by Spice Trader Teas. I'll link it below after I'm done with the live. Really good. And if you add a shot of whiskey, thank you, Mitchell. It's so good. Oh, but why is the rum gone? Yeah. So, what was I saying? Yes. So, scrying, and then, you know, if you still want to scry and you don't have access to, oh, thank you, Chandler. Y'all are spoiling me. You need to, thank you very much. If you still want to scry and you don't have a bath, you don't want to, you know, you can't scry in your bathtub, then you can actually just use a bowl of water, and it's easier to do in like a dim lighted room. So you can either have your lights dimmed and just one source of light, or candles or anything like that. It's easier, I feel like, to do it in dim light. Yes, Danielle, it is black tea. It's so good. But if you don't want to do baths or showers or things like that, of course you can do candle magic. I have videos on that. And I personally, for bigger rituals, for things that are like clarity or a manifestation that's kind of like I'm using the full moon to do something like that, most of the time it's going to be bigger candles. But again, if you don't have access to that, you can use multiple tea light candles. You can use birthday candles. You can use whatever you have on hand. I think this would be a really good time to do a charm bag if you can't light candles, or if you don't feel like lighting candles. Doing charm bags on a full moon is awesome because, say I'm looking for clarity in a certain situation in my life, you can do something like that in the full moon, creating it under the full moon, charging it with the power of the full moon, and keeping it on you for clarity. So then maybe next time you're in that situation, you have more clarity. Let's see. Same thing with, reflection. If you're really trying to reflect on a certain aspect of your life or something like that, then you can do charm bags and whatnot. One of the biggest things that those crickets are really loud. Bye, Witchy Bitchy. I'll see you later. Also love that. I love that name. That's amazing. Topaz Scrying. Yes, I'm sorry. I just glossed over that. But all right, what is that? What's that? That needs to go away. Yes, so scrying is the act of gazing into something and seeing images. And so a lot of the time it's like, oh, gazing into my crystal ball. This can work in any reflective surface. So you'll hear a lot about this in mirror magic, people scrying in mirrors and black mirrors usually, or in water, in dark water. A lot of the time, you can really do this in any reflective surface. I have friends who have scryed on their phone screen, on a locked phone screen that's black. But really, it's just kind of the act of letting things come to you. So if you're kind of like, oh, that's weird, I kind of see this, just write it down really quick. Don't think too much about what you're like, why you're seeing something. Just really record, either use like an audio recorder or write something down as you're seeing things, and then look back on it afterwards, because you don't want to take yourself out of that mindset of scrying. So when you're, you can look into your tea and you can scry, and I can be like, oh, I kind of see like a lake. Duh, it's water. But if that's the thing that comes to me, then I would just write that down and later come back to my notes and ask myself, why am I seeing a lake? What does a lake mean to me? Things like that. So that would be scrying. Think about watching the clouds. So, if you're looking at the clouds and you're seeing shapes, you're seeing symbols, you're seeing pictures, that's kind of what scrying is like. It's kind of just like cloud gazing. And that is also a form of divination. So, if you wish to use something like that. But yes. So, charm bags, try using one of those. You can charm your jewelry for the same thing. So if you don't have a bag that you can make, maybe you can charm some jewelry and charm it for having clarity or X, Y, and Z, things like that. A big, big, big part of rituals or any kind of spells or anything like that, I would highly suggest that you journal. So make sure you write down anything and everything, anything that you find really important, readings that you do during your ritual, any reflections, any thoughts, any feelings, gratitude or challenges or lessons that you're getting from any of those things. Yeah, and try to really just sit down and just like jot things down. Don't worry about like what you're writing or anything like that. A lot of the time, if you just kind of like throw everything into a journal, it kind of just comes out naturally. So try not to, you look into your tea and you see tea. Well, that's good. I'd be worried if you saw something else too. Yeah. So, try to just write down everything. That's another good way of divination or of shadow work is automatic writing. Some people use this for spirit communication. I do not. I just try to use it to tap into the subconscious. Really, you just, Stephen, go away, Stephen. then you use an audio recorder if you have terrible handwriting. So writing things down for automatic writing. Some people use this for spirit work. I do not. I use it to tap into the subconscious. So I would personally, honestly, you take your intention. So you're like, I want to reflect on the past few months. I want to reflect on this particular thing that I want to reflect on. Say like this particular emotion. I've been feeling this way. I want to reflect on that. So you just put that intention and you do not think about what you're writing. You don't look at what you're writing. You just put pen to paper and you just start writing. And it takes a little bit of time. It takes a few minutes. It takes a little bit of practice because you're going to think about it, even though you're trying not to think about it. But it's really important that you just keep going and you just keep writing with that intention in mind. You just write. And then you can come back to it and read and see kind of what you've written. And sometimes it'll surprise you. Sometimes you'll be like, oh, interesting. I don't know why I wrote that, and yeah, can it apply to past situations reflecting? Yes, it can. So this is actually something that psychologists will use too sometimes, is that like not in a magical way, it's just tapping into your subconscious, is when you're reflecting on a past event, a lot of the time it's past traumas, but if it's just a past event that you feel like you want to go in more in depth on, or like a past emotion, they'll have you just think about the event. They'll have you just think about the emotion and just keep writing. Jessica, I heard you try to write with your non-dominant hand. That's hard. I write with my dominant hand. But Stephen, I agree. There's a lot of things that I think are technically magic, but don't qualify as magic. Yeah. So for tarot, I wrote down like some really quick. So for tarot, for spreads, you can pull things. I like 3-card spreads because they're quick, they're easy, they're straight to the point. If you want to do a full spread, by all means, be my guest. But 3-card readings are really nice for me, or I'll just keep shuffling until like the cards fall out and just read whatever cards fall out. So, let's see. 3-card readings, you can pull something for what's holding me back. You can pull something for where am I growing, or where should I be growing? You can pull an advice card. You can pull things for a situation or something that I'm not seeing in my situation. So, think of, think of things like that. Just you don't need like a super structured thing. Honestly, for me, when I do full moon rituals or any kind of rituals that I feel like I need to do a full ritual, I don't plan it out. I don't have like, okay, first this is going to happen. First I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do that. A lot of the time it's just kind of like, I just do whatever I feel like I need to do, But if you are the type of person that really loves having that structure of like writing down what you're going to do for the full moon, then go for it. Can a ritual be done with only 2 people? A ritual can be done with 1 person. It can be done with 100. Totally up to you. Yeah. So, a huge part of this full moon is that it is on Friday the 13th. Everybody's like all excited, which is cool. It's super cool, but also there's nothing about the Friday the 13th that really calls to me personally. So there's not really anything that I'm doing in particular for the Friday the 13th, if that makes sense. Because my knowledge of mythology and history is very bad, but from what I know is that Friday was named after, all right, y'all are going to come for me if I get this wrong, I know it, but I'm going to do my best, okay? Friday was named after the Norse goddess. I think it's Frigg. And then later, it was confused with Freya, which is the Norse goddess of love. And then when Christianity stepped in, all the other, Freya was deemed as a witch, and therefore Friday, they believed, or it was said, that all the witches would meet up on Friday every single week, like a book club. And it was 13 witches that would meet up. So that's essentially why it was a bad, you know. And then also, you know, there's the whole 13 number where it's supposedly bad luck, but really when it comes down to it, it's kind of just up to if you want to correlate that into your practice or into your ritual. Personally, I will not. Brian, have you done cooking magic? I am not a good cook. But I think cooking magic is wonderful. I would like to, you know, get better at it, but what did you say? Oh yeah, Thea. Yeah, Thea. There you go. See, all y'all are, you guys know what you're talking about. Yes, Brian. So I mean, you know, use the herbs that you feel like you want to use into your ritual if you're gonna be doing that on your full moon. So just like any spell, if you want to throw in whatever kind of herbs, try to correlate that to whatever you're making. Or there's a lot of things that Stephen, what did you say? Oh, I was like, I don't need to know that. A day that pagans had lots of sex and they made it a bad and sinful day. That's upsetting. Anyway, yes, so cooking magic, I feel like, is something that is going to be my next goal that I'm going to try to be working on when I don't feel like I'm all over the place. But yeah, think about how you're making, like, what are you cooking? How is it made? You can correlate that into kind of like the correlations or the correspondences is the word that I'm looking for. Is there a way to incorporate magic into the music that you make? Absolutely. I mean, like, as in you making the music, because I feel like that comes from inside anyway. Trying to think. I think that's all. I mean, really, I'm not a big ritual person. I'm going to be completely honest. I really enjoy things that. Oh, thank you, Parker. I like simple things. I don't have like time or energy to just. It's really loud. To just like go 110% out. So any tips for bringing magic into everyday life? Yes. So really it's just, I mean, I make my tea every morning. I feel like that's the same thing. You can correlate it into your coffee or making food in the morning. You can, I haven't been bad at this lately, but I like to stretch in the morning and meditate at the same time, or like before or after. But that's like a really good way to kind of set yourself up. And I'm introverted, so spending time with people drains me. Not saying that I don't like spending time with people, but that's just like how my energy shifts. And so a lot of the time, if I know that I'm going to be spending time with a lot of people, then I will meditate and I will put shields up. So that's something that I will have to talk about in a different video, is shields. But shielding is essentially, if you visualize a literal like bubble around you, it's kind of trying to like keep the energy from leaving you so quickly, things like that. And yeah, it's just you know, if I don't put my shields up, sometimes I'm like, oof. So let's see. I'm trying to read some of the other things. But yeah, other than that, wild cheetah girl. I agree. Yeah, so that's kind of all. I forgot to get the laundry. I'm sorry. I totally forgot. I'm a bad roommate. Tessa. No, that doesn't make you, no, because I mean, I haven't really done anything in the past month. I don't know why, but I just don't, even though like I have a lot of stuff going on, there's just something that I don't feel like I need to be casting at the moment. So I just won't. Really quick rant. You not being like not conforming to what what everybody else thinks that you do does not make you a bad witch, because at the end of the day it's your practice and it is your life, and you are using this to better your situations. So if you don't feel like you need to be doing anything, then don't do anything, you know. It's just I think it's really silly that people think like, oh, well, if I don't drink tea, then I'm not witch enough. And you're like, nope, that's not how it goes. You know, if I don't cleanse every single day and light incense constantly, you know, that's not it. It totally goes as to how you practice and what works for you. You know, the thing that I say in every single video of mine. So yeah, it's just, there's just not a thing that's like, oh, I'm not spiritual enough. Like, okay, you know, like I don't get zodiacs. I like, hey, I'm a Virgo, whatever, you know, it's cool, but like that's not something that I connect to. So that doesn't make me any less spiritual or like witchy or anything just because I don't connect to zodiacs. And a lot of the time I actually don't celebrate Sabbats. So a lot of people are like, what? But at the end of the day, I just don't. And if I do, it's usually with friends who are celebrating it. It's not me celebrating it. Yeah, that's really all it is. So like, you do you. There's my rant. That's it. So if you don't feel like you need to be casting, don't cast. If you feel like you need to be casting 30 spells right now and that is what you need to do and you gotta do it. And because I don't cast spells for anybody else, whereas I have a friend who doesn't cast spells for himself. So like there's just different things. Thank you for coming to Olivia's TED Talk. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just eat food and celebrate. Exactly. But that's it. I mean, I do you have any other questions as to like rituals of possibly what to do for your ritual, or do you have any things that you're gonna do for this ritual or for this harvest moon? Because I know I'm probably just going to take a bath. Well, actually, I'm probably going to take a shower because I work that day. I work a lot on Friday, so I'll be busy. I'll just take a real quick shower and maybe like chill out later that night when I get home. A good closet witch ritual. Yeah, the bath and the shower ritual is really good because you shouldn't be around other people and just play some music or things like that. We're using a poppet. I have a video about spell dolls, so if you want to check that out, because I talk a little bit about how to use them and how to sorry. Let's see. There's a lot of questions, y'all. Y'all are going a little too fast for this dyslexic lady. Any advice for lazy witches? Yes, go the simple route. Don't make things do not have to be complicated. You do not need 12 purple candles and 1 black candle and 4 ounces of glitter and like some left paw of a cat that was initiated into the Illuminati. Like there's just use some rosemary and salt and light a birthday candle and like be done with it. There's no like I have done the really, really extensive spells and I actually, because I get so caught up in the details, I actually get less of a manifestation than I do with a tea light candle and some water. If you on it, like legitimately, the ones that ask for like all these things and this whole list of things that I'm like, what is that? I get less results from those than I do with the ones that are just like rosemary, salt, put it in a bag, put it under your pillow. There's just, oh, Christian, glitter is where it's at. I love putting glitter. I'm not a glitter lover, but like when it goes into spells, hell yes. Would you actually do a ritual meetup with witches in LA? Maybe. Like I said, I'm fairly introverted. So that actually kind of sounds terrifying to me. But that would actually be a lot of fun, I think. But we'll see. I've got a lot of stuff I'm working on, but we'll see if that ever becomes a thing, a Wonderlust Coven meetup. That would be kind of fun. But introverted. I don't know why I did that. Yes. Let's see. Kristen, do I worship a god or goddess? I do not. I don't have any deities that I work with. Let's see. Yeah, that's Jocelyn, me. That'd be so cool to meet everybody, but also like not. I'm like really introverted. I'm much more comfortable on camera instead of like in public. Not that it like freaks me out. It's just more of like my energy bar is just not super big. So I'd probably stay for about an hour and then I would have to leave because I'd be super tired. But yes. So that I think kind of sums up. I hope that you have time and the means to do all of the rituals that you like. But if nothing else, just journal something. Just write something down and take a few deep breaths and like compliment a flower or like a tree or something. And but that is kind of my rundown of what I may or may not be doing this Friday and some ideas for you. And make sure to share if you so wish on the Instagrams. Make sure to hashtag it Wonderlust Coven with an O, not an A, because I won't see it if it's with an A. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, and thank you for those donations. That's really sweet. Yeah, go hug a tree, go compliment a flower, say hello to the moon, and journal something. But other than that, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Enjoy your full moon, whatever you may be doing, whether you are working like I am, or if you have the whole day off and you can celebrate to your witchy end and go dance naked in a forest, whatever you want to do. So enjoy the rest of your week. And as always, best of luck. be kind to each other, and may your gods treat you as you've treated others. Bye.